Everyone wants to win. It's the Group 1 TJ Smith.
It really is such a huge race, as you said, in that sort of championship for sprinters now in the autumn. Into the yard we go. Well, he's a warrior overpass. He absolutely is. And now Lizzie's walking alongside of him.
Bruce and Richo, this guy is absolutely dynamic first up into the preparation. 8 starts first up, 4 wins and 3 seconds. That's a pretty good strike rate. Let's have a look at how he presents first up. He's forward in condition. He's still got a bit of improvement to come in his coat, which is expected for this time of year. But we know exactly where he's going to be, up on speed, and he's going to be the horse that they all have to get past.
Certainly going to be in front, you would think. Richo, Randwick, first time for Jimmy Starr. You'd think Randwick was made for this horse.
He loves a big track, doesn't he? So you can imagine that it'll allow him to really accelerate and charge at them. So I've been waiting for him to get to 1,400 metres, Bruce, but he's been sprinting so well. Now, traditionally, he sprints really well fresh, but he was outstanding first up. He was good second up. That's the only query in my mind.
Query with Jeddah Bill, is he classy enough to win a weight for age Group 1? He's a very good horse. He won the challenge. He was well beaten in the Galaxy. I think those odds are probably about right. You'd love to have him. Great strike rate, well placed. Think he's a level below these. Not so sure the Headwall's a level below. He's been a big improver.
He's been massive, hasn't he? Now, weight for age is going to be the big issue. They ran 4th in an Oakley Plate and 2nd in a Newmarket, but he did it with 52 kilos. This is a different scenario, to be level weights with some of the best sprinters. That's the tough one. Here's the X Factor. Lizzie's alongside Briasa.
Wow, how well did this guy run last time out in the Galaxy? He was absolutely incredible, and he has certainly been taking each step every time he steps out in great fashion. This is him second up into the preparation. It looks to me as though he's nice and forward in condition, and he is got a lot of elements like the grey flash.
He is such a fascinating horse. Sunshine in Paris won the big sprint at Flemington. She was good in the Everest, wasn't she?
Oh, she certainly was. She was a great winner in the VRC Classic. Now, she's second up. She went to the Canterbury Stakes first up, where she was blocked for a run when it counted most. I thought she ran really well. Lizzie's alongside another J-Star, Jolie.
Few queens in this race, and Jolie Star is definitely one of those. She was brilliant last time out in the Newmarket. She has arguably been unlucky in a lot of starts here at Royal Randwick, especially actually in an Everest. So you would think that form would win this race hands down. Hopefully she gets a good run in transit. She's got all the ability in the world. She's got the looks to match it, the pedigree to match it, and we're going to see something very special in today's contest of the TJ Smith.
And she's a solid favourite, isn't she? Magic Time, she won the PJ Bell 2 years ago and ran in this race last year, so she knows this day oh so well. She's quality, isn't she?
Oh, I think she's in career best form. Just whether or not the All Age is her #1 race at 1,400 metres, but by gee, she's going well. I've got her on top. I was expecting a softer track though. That's the only downside. I Am Me, probably just in that little vein of not rich form, so to speak. She was going into the Everest. It hasn't quite worked for her the autumn, and she's a big odds. Komachi, the harder they go, the better chance she's got. She tried as a stayer early on. We know how good she is, and she got that Group 1 monkey off her back, didn't she, in the spring? Yeah, she cost Yulong $2.2 million at the chairman's sale. That's where I Am Me is going as well. She will fly and be a big, big chance here. What about Switzerland? Hasn't been much talked about the 3-year-old colt. Is he good enough? Is he going well enough? He's a Group 1 winner. Only one colt, 3-year-old colt's ever won this race. Yeah. A couple of other 3-year-old geldings have won it, and some fillies, 6 or less. This bloke, I'm with you. I think he's over the odds. Yeah, traffic warden. I think he is. He was so fresh at Flemington in the Lightning Stakes. Jamie Mellon jumped off and said, just forget that run. He's run really well, how fresh he was. They've put a lot of work into him. This will be their big grand final for him. She's an A-lister, but she's not at the front of the queue today. But she's a good mare, that's for sure. Ali, off to you, the market from the tab.
Well, Bruce, at the front of the queue is Jolie Star. She's our most popular with about 35% of the money invested aboard her. She's into 350 now after opening 390 and 340. As I say that, there has been a firm for our second elect here, Overpass, with that great first up record, 6 into 5s. Briasa has been 5 8.25 out to 7. Then we've got Magic Time, a nibble 9 into 8.50. Jimmy Star 8.50 out to 10 after opening 11s. Sunshine in Paris has been 9 to 10. Switzerland out at 16 along with Komochi there, who's then at $26 with Traffic Warden and $31 or more the rest. So all the action at the top end here. Jolie Star is by far and away best backed, but there has been a good late firm here for Overpass. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
No, I think you just put her in her comfort zone. The one big asset she's got, as we know, she's got a really good turn of foot. Let's just hold it. We're going to need luck today. We're going to need her to be ridden cold and hopefully produce it. You see it the same way?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. We've got to give her a chance from that tricky sort of gate. Let her go back and she'll be finding the line.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck, folks.
Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
So interesting there. So that's Overpass also for Bjorn. He's got one going forward and one that's going to be in stone cold. Lizzie, give us the pick of the yard for the TJ.
Oh, another difficult contest, especially in these big group ones. They are all turned out perfectly. I'm sticking with Briasa. I followed him all the way through. I just think he's a really stunning individual. But not only that, he's a very, very sharp racehorse. Gets a better run in transit today. I heard you talking about Traffic Warden before. I walked in with him and I've never heard a horse roar so much when he walked into the stalls area. But he seems to have relaxed and switched off, and that's the key, and that's exactly what you were talking about. He looked good in the yard. It was just before.
Oh, is roar a bad thing?
Roar, yes, it means
Okay.
you've got your mind on other things, Richard.
Ali, we've got our mind on a market mover from the tab.
No roaring, Richo. It is Overpass. As I said, they've come for him just in the last probably hour or so with that great first up form.
So just with thanks for that, Ali. So at Randwick, track and distance, 7 starts, 1 win, 1 place. Away from Randwick at 1200, 10 starts, 7 wins, 1 place. It hasn't been his favourite place. Now, it's all set up for him a bit today in terms that he'll get the lead probably. He's a gun first up. You talked about that, Lizzie. But I'm just wondering about the last 50 metres here at Randwick.
And it's a very valid point as well, but I suppose the combination of him being first up into the preparation and finding a race where all I keep seeing is back markers. Jolie Star back, Briasa back, Magic Time back, Jimmy Star back, Sunshine in Paris. She could go forward from that gate. That's probably the one that I think could utilise that gate and has the ability to go forward. Where does Switzerland get to? He goes back, he takes a sit. Traffic Warden the same, Komochi, Head Wall as well. Jedabil goes forward. I Am Me goes forward. There's not a lot of pressure. So is this a combination of a race that he's found, and that's why the punters are coming for him, where he is going to get a soft lead?
Just checking out Traffic Warden there, whether or not he's roaring at the moment. What a fascinating race, but it's only the 29th running of the TJ, and they put money in it, and it's now standing as an absolute classic, this race.
No question about that. Emma?
Gary Portelli with Komochi. She's already a Group 1 winner. But I tell you what, first up, 1,000 metres Group 2 challenge. I like what I saw over an unsuitable trip. How has she come on since then?
Yeah, she's come on well. We've given her a month to get through that run. She's always been a bit flat second up. If you give her the fortnight, we've gone a month this time. Nice and fresh. She's drawn a horrible barrier. So the instructions are, I said to Nash, if she jumps clean and you can get across, you get up outside the leader. If she jumps ordinary, then it's in your hands. And with Nash, you just get a blank stare and you hope for the best.
He is the madman, and that's why we love him. So in between that month between runs, she flies fresh. Just keep her ticking along nicely.
Yeah, just keep her fresh. She's got a good set of lungs on her. Don't have to have them overfit for a 1,200 metre race. You can overtrain them. So hopefully we've got us absolutely purring for today. But she's really paraded a lot better than last start.
You're loading quickly. Good luck.
Thank you.
Gary Portelli there, Bruce.
Thanks, Em. It really is a championship race. Feel like in many ways we're turning the page today. It's a new chapter, isn't it? We've had Nature Strips and Chautauquas and all of those. We're going to have another champion today. So here's Darren Flindell for the TJ Smith.
TJ Smith Stakes, and the light is on. They're ready to run. Overpass drawn barrier 2. Ready now, racing, and Overpass began brilliantly as usual. Komochi and I Am Me were away well. Briasa's right up in the thick of the action as well with Jedabil deep out. Magic Time using barrier 1 to improve. Then came Switzerland further back in the race to Jolie Star in the second half of the field with Sunshine in Paris. Headball as well back from She's an A-lister. Traffic Warden. Jimmy Star last of all. Overpass takes the lead as expected. Out by a half and I Am Me. Magic Time with the tail trailer. Brias is in a very handy position coming to the turn with Switzerland. Camachi deeper out. Then came Switzerland from Jeddah on a wide path. Jolly Star's back on the inside. Further back to Sunshine in Paris. She's an A-lister. Headball, Traffic Warden and Jimmy Star into the straight. Overpass leads by 2 and AME. Magic Time taking a rouse run. Jolly Star's hard fence. Now the grey Briasa gets going. Inside the 200. Overpass a length clear from Briasa, breathing down his neck. Overpass being tackled by Briasa the outside. Briasa goes to overpass. Briasa overpass. Briasa won the TJ. Briasa edged out overpass. Not sure about third. Headwall flashed home together with Jimmy Star. They're the two wide out. Then Camachi, Switzerland, Sunshine in Paris. Jolly Star couldn't pick up on the fence. Then came IME, Traffic Warden, and she's an A-lister.
A boy becomes a man today in many ways, Lizzie. Well done to you. Pick of the yard, absolutely brilliant. It was a great ride by Tyler. He was forward, and you're with Wayne Hawkes. They know this day oh so well.
Well, I probably shouldn't be chatting to Wayne because his brother is flooding with tears, but you have had the utmost belief in this horse that he's the best horse in your stable, and he's proven that today.
Well, let me tell you, that's the horse on the inside is no easy horse to get past, so it's a great race, and you know what, he's not Chautauqua, because not many are, but he's better than Chautauqua, though, because Chautauqua's not here, but it was just today with the barrier was such a difference. The other day he had to go back to last, and we all saw what happened, whereas today he was in the 1-1. We thought he'd be second, third, fourth, and he's pretty good.
The interesting thing about him, I find, is that he is versatile, though. We've seen him have to get back from that wide gate, but draw a gate today, and he can posse up and sprint with the best of them.
We saw Swift Falcon before. When they're back markers, it's so hard to win, and that's what happened to this bloke in the Galaxy, whereas today, when you draw a good barrier, he would have done this to these lot last week if he had drawn the right barrier, but that was last week. But you know what, they look like they're only going slow, but I'd love to see what the last 600 was, but this is a good horse's race, this race.
I'm going to get your brother over here because I think he's about to go into cardiac arrest. Are you okay?
No.
How are those red eyes? I mean, you love this horse.
I don't know what to say. I really don't. You know, I've just loved him from day one. And, you know, I'm just lost of words. You know, this is the moment that we dream of. With a horse like this, you know, we've had our ups and downs. We're not big anymore, but we've got quality. And I've got to give my foreman, Steve, Tara Thompson, his wife. If it wasn't for Tara, I wouldn't have the Johnson family. And I tell you what, he's a star, an absolute star.
Is part of this emotion the fact that when you bought him and you started to race him, you had the belief in him that he was a Group 1 competitor, and today, after only a handful of starts, you've been vindicated?
I received these horses off the Johnsons, and Anthony and Ian Johnson came to the stables, and I spoke to Mr. Johnson this morning and wished him well, but I tell you what, he came down to the stables and he said to me, "Is this a horse I've dreamt of?" And he hadn't even had a race start. I said, "Sir, this will be the horse of your life." And that's just how much he's shown from day one.
Have you given your brother a cuddle?
I haven't actually.
Well done, boys.
Well, it means so much. They joined Peter Moody as a 4-time winner of the Hawkes family of the TJ Smith. And look at Michael there and Wayne, of course. So another grey. What a beautiful horse he is. Lizzie, overpass was magnificent again. Headwall, wow. Jimmy Star comes from last. Headwall, I suppose, the surprise packet. Lizzie, you've been with him all the way through this horse, and today's his day, and from this point on, right now, I guess he's the early favourite for the Everest when we're standing here, aren't we?
Yeah, I suppose he would be. I remember talking to Tyler after the Hunter, and I asked him, is he a Group 1 horse? He said to me, I think so. Well, he was right.
Well, you said many, many moons ago, well, I think this guy's a Group 1 performer, and today you've proven that with a 10 out of 10 steer. Well done.
It makes a difference when you draw a barrier, and he's probably one miss in first up, but second up, it's great to get a barrier. Randwick's more forgiving, and he's just a very good horse. And the Hawks team have maintained him perfectly. They know how to win this race, especially with a grey. And I still don't know his ceiling, but geez, he's got oodles of talent.
You don't ride him in work. They don't let you guys ride these V8s in work, but Tell us about the messages and the feedback that you've been getting from Michael over the last little while in between runs, because it must have been like through the roof stuff.
Yeah, pretty much every time when I trialled him, and every time I've seen him, he just says, he's the best one we got, mate, and he just keeps getting better. And he knew from the start, from Kembla when I rode him, his maiden victory, he said this could be a top horse, and he was still a baby, he still is. I think he's still got so much improvement. It's scary to think where the ceiling is, but I was just so grateful to get on today and have him in the right spot. And the owners are fantastic, Macarena and her husband and son are here, so it's fantastic to get the win for them.
Up against the big boys and girls today, he proved that he's made of tough stuff, but winning a TJ for you, like, it's one of Sydney's iconic races. You've won a Doncaster, and now you add a TJ next to your name.
Yeah, and I'd love to keep going. I'd love to keep adding more Group 1s to the list, and I hope with this horse we can keep a good affiliation going. And yeah, it's just great to be in a camp with Team Hawks, and they're so supportive. I know Swift Falcon, not everything went right earlier, but they forgive you for minor stuff-ups, and then if something major happens, I'm sure they're happy to move on. But yeah, I think it's been a great 12 months, and hopefully we can keep going.
You'll move on and celebrate tonight. I have no doubt about that. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
Terrific stuff. 25 Group 1s now for the Hawks boys, 119 all up here.